Okay, it's been a while since I've done one of these. They're easy to do and don't require much effort on my part. There's really not much writing involved. That's right, it's FAQ time! Just like last time, round 1 will be questions I've seen other YouTubers get asked and I'm answering them as a preemptive strike. If I survive that, round 2 will be questions I've asked other YouTubers, and since they were nice enough to respond, I feel I owe them the same. If I survive that, well, it's questions from my friends and questions from your comments. So, without further ado, here's the man who will be asking me all these questions, the one, the only, the madcap musical mutant Matthew Ship.
What were you expecting? Senator Eduardo?
I couldn't get him. He's doing a COVID-19 charity live stream on Hornpub.
Don't you mean...
Yes, but this is a PG-13 rated video. We have to call it Hornpub.
Alright, okay. First question lots of YouTubers get asked. What is the worst movie you have ever seen?
Hard to say. Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren was supposed to be a theatrical release. It got shoved off TV and DVD when the producers saw how bad the final product was. The Room was bad, but it has some entertainment value as camp. Same goes for Robo Vampire. I can't give it to Golden Eagle since half of that movie's terribleness is caused by bad subtitles and really faded prints. Supergirl was bad, but it's not the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. So I guess it goes to The Wicker Man, the version with Nicolas Cage. Though I might be biased because that movie has real actors, a real director, and had a real budget. And it still manages to suck. What are your thoughts, Matt?
There have been so many bad movies that I've been subjected to. For me, it boils down to whether or not the movie was entertaining at all or not. Even if it is awkward or campy. A movie so bad that it literally puts me to sleep. At the moment, that movie is a pretty close tie between Kindergarten Cop 2, which wasn't even remotely funny, and an unnecessary sequel, and just downright offensive, or You Only Live Twice. Though I'm pretty sure I'll see worse movies to come soon enough.
I have seen only 3 movies in my entire life that have absolutely broken me. One was Kindergarten Cop 2. The second was John Ford's The Searchers. And the last one was The Wicker Man.
What hobbies do you have outside of YouTube?
Reading and writing, really? I've got those and that's it. I would say tabletop role-playing games, but I haven't had enough people around that I could run or play in a game in years.
Aside from making music, I do enjoy playing video games among other things. Okay, next question. What is the worst video you have ever done?
If you discount Pumpkin, which a lot of people seem to like, I would have to say the worst video I've ever done is the We Wish You a Fantastic Christmas Sing-Along. I mean, I like the song. After other people liked it at the end of Fuck You Christmas, doing the sing-along was supposed to be lazy, but getting those words to line up in the right order was a pain in the ass. It took a lot of work. Yeah, I didn't have to write or perform anything new, but editing took twice as long as some of those 30 or 40 minute videos I've done. I could have written, shot, and edited a whole new Christmas special in the amount of time it took me to make one 2-minute short.
What have you been watching during your quarantine?
Star Trek Picard was very good. I've also been watching a lot of classic 80s Danger Mouse. And for some action, Marvel's Iron Fist. For a mix of drama and camp, Quantum Leap. When I need a laugh, Whose Line Is It Anyway? And for inspiration, Sesame Street. Have you been watching anything good, Matt? Or did you get suckered into a marathon of Star Trek Voyager?
No Star Trek Voyager. I will get to that at some point. Also, at some point, I will get around to watching at least one of the Star Trek DVDs that I have, though.
You will get to all of them, and all 13 movies. We shall add your technological and biological distinctiveness to our own. We are Borg. Resistance is futile.
Things are only impossible until they're not. Eventually I'll get to it. Mostly I've been watching videos by many of the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube, such as Markiplier, Unis Honest, Jason Paradise, Games Done Quick, among many others.
Anyhow, on to the next question. What videos can we expect to see in the foreseeable future?
I generally don't plan more than 4 or 5 videos ahead. The only time I planned for something more long-term than that was Manos. Look how that turned out. With production slowdowns right now, that 4 or 5 videos is about a month to a month and a half. If everything goes according to plan, I have 2 ideas for episodes of Did I Get What I Paid For? One being the Fleischer Brothers version of Gulliver's Travels, the other being Captain America from 1979. Matt, last I checked, my DVD of that was at your place. Can you get it back to me before, say, the 12th of June?
Of course!
I have a loose outline for another one of those Jessie tells a true story things. People really liked the stench. Response was pretty positive to A Strip Mall's Lament. Not many people watched the Penn and Teller one, but this one I think is going to be interesting. I got challenged to something by a friend of mine recently who wants me to do a sketch where I get in an argument with 2 other characters also played by me. And I really like the idea, but I don't think I should be the one editing it as a simple logistical thing. Doing episodes where I'm more than one character, or even just me and someone else, are difficult enough. And especially if one of those characters is Torgo, where I actually do need downtime. I can't do Torgo and me on the same day and not be dead tired. So if I were going to do something like that, I would want to shoot, Torgo one day, me and the other character on the next day. The other advantage to that is that I could shoot the scenes on one day, send them over to Matt, have the first batch edited, and that would give me a real better understanding of where my performance would have to be on that third character, which in this case would probably be me, the real me, because that me in that sort of situation would have to be the Zeppa Marks. What I'm saying is that if even one of you leaves a comment saying that you want to see this, and if Matt's really willing to do the edits, I'm game. And I'm in the research stages right now for an episode of Comic Book Corner, this time on a Marvel character, because I've gotten a little feedback saying that the first 2 episodes of the newer format were too DC-centric. So I'm giving you guys something on the myth, the man, the legend. Jonah Jameson.
Okay, here's another question that you tend to ask a lot of YouTubers. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Do you, watch this channel?
I do, but still, if it came down to the 2, I think I know which one of the 2 you'd pick.
Don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars. I think for the first 10 years of my life, I preferred Star Wars to Star Trek. But by the time I was 10 or 11, I sort of abandoned a good versus evil sort of morality. Good people can do terrible things. Bad people sometimes do good things. But at the same time, I try to be an optimist. So I became more of a Star Trek guy than a Star Wars guy. Not only that, Star Trek has helped me grow as a person. There isn't a social ill the franchise hasn't covered in some form or another. It has made me change my views on several occasions. Because I heard them being spouted not by the good guys, Kirk, Picard, or Sisko, but by the villains. Hell, there are 1 or 2 episodes where I found myself agreeing with Gul Dukat.
Okay, Next question, and this one is a toughie. Who is your favorite Muppet?
Depends. Are we talking Muppet Muppets, Sesame Muppets, Fraggle Muppets, or Creature Shop creations? If we're talking pure Muppets, Statler and Waldorf. It's how I see you and I in about 20 years. With Sesame Muppets, I love Grover, Kermit, and Oscar, but I would have to say my favorite is Barky the dog. My favorite Fraggle is Boober, because I have his sense of joy. As for Creature Shop creations, Pilot from Farscape. He only got the spotlight in a small handful of episodes, but he is a really great character. Plus, there is something beautifully alien about his aesthetic.
For me, it is a difficult question to answer, as there are many Muppets that I love for a variety of different reasons. But I'm thinking Rolf, because I do love dogs too, and quite frankly, he plays a mean piano. But I also like some of the lesser known Muppets, such as Wilkins and Wilkins. But on to the next question. What do you miss most from life pre-quarantine?
I know some of my coworkers are watching this, so I should say work. And yeah, I do miss that, but at the same time, there are some things I miss more. I miss Bad Movie Club. I miss wearing pants more than 2 hours a day.
You never wore pants more than 2 hours a day if you weren't at work or Bad Movie Club.
I'm wearing pants right now!
Those are pajamas.
No comment. Anyway, what I really miss is going to the comic book store.
I miss Bad Movie Club, being able to go to the movies, things like being able to go to the beach. But I think most of all, I just miss being able to spend time with my family and friends. And now questions from various sources of feedback. These two come from the Batman video. This one is from Lionel Murray.
Hey, I know him.
He wants to know, how long have you been doing this, and why am I only finding out about it now?
Tricky question. Matt and I started this joint account for anything we do together. At one point, he wanted to go to California. It became sort of where I would do little things on my own. Things happened. He wound up not leaving. So then it became an even split between stuff I would do on my own and videos that we would do together. There are 1 or 2 videos that, for whatever reason, we decided to put up on his channel. I've only been doing this on my own, more or less weekly, for about a year. As for why you're only finding out now, I don't know. I've been posting links to Facebook all that time, but you know how news feeds are. Maybe you had it set up to block YouTube videos or something.
Another question comes from someone named Eric Morton, who claims to have randomly stumbled across it. He said this: the comic analysis is super in-depth. Have you thought about TikTok? Taking all your individual points and segmenting them into individual clips. 14 minutes is a lot longer than 14 one-minute clips. Not trying to give you unsolicited opinions. Our society has a short attention span, but I really enjoy your ideas.
No, I have no plans to do TikTok. I love doing long-form videos. The time it allows me gives me a chance to do something with a little bit more nuance. The 60-second attention span of most people is a serious problem. It's sad when someone with severe attention deficit disorder, like myself, has a longer attention span than the average Gen Zer. Plus, could you imagine Torgo doing a TikTok? He get may be the words in B for have ing to break it up Again. So, no, sorry. Not happening. If a soundbite that doesn't at least attempt to challenge you intellectually is your thing, I hate to say this, but this channel probably isn't for you.
A friend of yours, who wished to remain anonymous, had this to say about the Penn and Teller video and asked if you had had any other celebrity encounters.
Yes, quite a few really. There is one that is really funny, but isn't long enough to warrant a video of its own. It's very short. I was at the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C. Neil Gaiman had just finished his panel. I decided to hit the porta potty before going into the autograph line. When I was going into the outhouse, who should come walking out but Salman Rushdie? I nodded at him and said, "So that's where you've been hiding all these years." He made this, I don't know, sort of Sideshow Bob noise, and he rolled his eyes and walked away.
These next few questions come from Marsha Hall. Some of you might know her from her work on the short film Priceline. She provided the voice of Lieutenant Uhura. Her first one is this. Have you considered doing a sequel with some of the other products Shatner endorses, like the Hurt line?
You know, I hadn't thought about it. Okay, I hadn't thought of it until you brought it up. Only a few problems. I feel you need a lot of things before you can have a good sequel. Demand is one. But for a video with 15 hits on a channel with 20 subscribers, I'd say that one's been met. There needs to be a story there. I have an idea. So that's done. We can't do that cheesy Uhura's voice coming from the common Kirk chair again. That's just lazy. If you're gonna do a sequel, you've gotta go big or go home. So, in order to do what Matt and I would really like to do, we would need an Uhura Christmas ornament or an action figure that uses the 1960s design, which I'm looking into getting. But after I get one, I'll write it, you'll get a story by credit, Matt and I'll shoot it, and then we'll rope you into recording your voice again. If there is not a strong story and we can't up the effects, that's not a good sequel. That's Ghostbusters 2.
Her other question is this. Will you ever do another short story reading as a video?
I liked those videos. I loved doing them, I loved writing them, but no one watched them. Maybe if I could get a whole cast together and do it like a 1930s radio show, that would be really cool. I've always loved, The Shadow and Superman, but with just me, nah.
Our good friend Roderick Fake Jessie Bowes asks, what are a few organizations that could support you in your projects that would greatly increase your production, and how?
I really wish I knew. There are a lot of charitable grants out there I don't qualify for various reasons. Some because I don't have enough subscribers, others because I don't produce the right sort of content. So I'm stuck sort of trying to do this on my own. I do have a Patreon. So if you, the viewer, want to help me out, you can. And there are perks. If I start getting any $5 donations, I'll start putting some of my video ups early for patrons. As for what I do if I started getting money, you can see my pitch reel at patreon.com/parodyerrorfilms. Long story short, I buy targeted ads for my videos. And I've seen a slight increase since I started doing better thumbnails. I'd hire people to take over doing that. I know a lot of non-professional artists who would do it on the cheap. And if I could afford it, I would love to have John Watkins Chow do a logo for Comic Book Corner.
The next question is from Senator Eduardo, who asks, is Tim really dead? I owed him $5.
Yes, he's dead. But I have the contract. You still owe his estate. I'd pay up soon, or I might have my man Bruno send you to the glue factory. Capiche?
These next questions come from Matthew Ship? I didn't send in any questions.
Look again, it's Matthew with 2 H's.
Wouldn't that be Matthew?
Not if one of the H's is after the M.
But that would be my half-you.
But the H is silent.
Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer.
Let's just get on with this.
Is there a movie you would never review for Did I Get What I Paid For?
There are several. Will I ever let you know what they are? No, but for good reason. Every reviewer I've seen who has revealed something from their verboten materials list eventually broke down after pressure from fans and did them. I decided to avoid that problem by not revealing mine. Well, apart from the fact that I've already reviewed something off the list, I still haven't gotten the stench of bile that comes from complimenting Stephen Baldwin out of my mouth.
Okay, next question. Why do we say Jan Standillion in all the bloopers?
We have a lost film. It's a biopic of Orson Welles and the Findus Frozen Peas incident. Orson Welles broke down in the middle of saying Jan Standillion and said Jan Stan Shish. Ever since then, when we don't want to say Shish, we say Jan Standillion.
This last question is strange. Where do you stick a feather and call it macaroni?
That's all we have time for this week. If you have more questions, leave a comment. The quicker you ask me some questions, the sooner I can get around to doing another one of these. And a quick reminder, since I mentioned it earlier, if you want to support this channel, visit patreon.com/ParodyEraFilms and become a patron.